Official matches between the two sides were stopped as the international boycott against South Africa manifested itself on the rugby field. But New Zealanders were still divided over the decision, and in 1986, All Black legend Colin Meads took an unofficial team to South Africa. His team became known as the Cavaliers.
We could do more good by keeping contact with South Africa, just by playing them, and particularly after 70, when we were allowed to take our Maori players or, you know, Polynesians or that type of thing with us, and I thought that tour did more good than any isolation ever would do.
We were very disappointed because I was in jail at that time, but we had a wonderful network which kept us briefed of what was happening outside. We knew about the Cavaliers.
Shunned by many, the tour was to have a lasting influence on the world game.
That's something else that is born from the rivalry between the Springboks and New Zealand, is professional rugby, probably in '86 with the Cavaliers. That was the first time that players were paid. They denied it, of course, but we all knew they'd been paid.
Then, as the world watched, South Africa began to reform its political process. The country and the Springboks entered a new era. In 1995, South African rugby burst back onto the world stage as hosts of the Rugby World Cup.
I don't think any statesman in the world could walk onto a rugby field in a rugby jersey other than Nelson Mandela, and what an incredible time that was.
Certainly Thabo Mbeki in particular, and his president, Nelson Mandela, realised as they came to power that the best means of achieving a reconciliation with the white people of South Africa was to embrace the game of rugby.
And I called our boys, Franz Pienaar and others, and I said, the team that wins this match will go right through to the end. Nobody will stop it.
Hands it to number 6. And what a symbolic handshake that is.
I followed nervously every match, especially the final in Johannesburg here. You know, I was so tense. I was sitting next Louis Late. And then Stransky had that drop kick. I kept on looking at my watch. When will the referee blow the whistle? I was so sensitive that when he eventually blew the whistle, we just found Louis Late and myself embracing. And but I almost died of tension. We are at the top of the world. Those were Africans who used to boycott rugby. But that day, it changed the picture altogether, united our people.
And after so many historic encounters, the Springboks and the All Blacks continue to lock horns in perhaps the fiercest battle in world rugby, the closest of enemies.
I nearly got tears in my eyes. Seeing that people, they hated us up to now. And now all of a sudden, they hugged us. That's the way New Zealand and South Africa, that's the way they played rugby, and that's the way they enjoyed their rugby.